CenturyNext Bank is proud to sponsor Digital Weather Desk with local meteorologist Jared Floyd.
The Digital Weather Desk is your local source for the latest weather information to help keep you and your family safe and to plan your week. You can follow us on our social media platforms, download our app, and you can also find us at digitalweatherdesk.com. The Digital Weather Desk,
Powered by CenturyNext Bank.
Hey folks, thanks for joining us a little bit later in the midday time frame. This is the Digital Weather Desk powered by CenturyNext Bank. I'm Jared Floyd and happy Wednesday. Running a little bit later than normal simply because I spent a good chunk of the morning actually the entire morning in southeastern Arkansas. Visited with our friends at CenturyNext Bank in Crossett and visited with their Crossett branch, their main branch this morning. And got to speak to their employees a little bit about the platform and how this is serving our area, including southeastern Arkansas, and got to visit some other friends across southeastern Arkansas and Ashley County. Got to take the back road. Well, I say the back roads. I got to take an abnormal route for me because I usually take 425 to go up to Monticello, and I got to go through Crossett, so I got to go. Was it 130? Whatever it is. I'm not good with highway numbers. But anyway, got to go through North Crossett, and I haven't traveled that area in a while. So got to see all those areas and just, again, get reacquainted with parts of Ashley County that I haven't seen in some instances 2, 3, 5 years. So cool stuff. Check out the radar made possible by Brown's Roofing. You can schedule your free roof inspection at brownsroofingla.com. And on that note, we ran into quite a bit of rainfall across northern Ashley County, Fountain Hill, stretching into Drew County from Monticello southward. Quite the measurable rainfall. Nothing, disruptive or anything, but some beneficial rain, especially for some spots that continue to run dry. Our front continues to move to the south and east, and that's also still allowing for some pesky showers along the Mississippi Valley. Most of those are on their way out of the area. Quick check of rain totals. These are unofficial, but some radar estimated totals of 9/100 of an inch of rain in Monticello. Greenville, kind of the same story. Up close to 1/4 of an inch of rain in Vicksburg, and these generally check out. Like I said, much of western Ashley County, northern Ashley County, as I was driving through this morning, ran into some rain and a little bit of ponding on the roadways and things like that. But other than that, it was just, again, some beneficial rain. On that note, it is quite cloudy, especially behind the boundary. And with that cooler air continuing to set in, it's going to be a tough stretch to see some areas get to 60 degrees, especially across southern Arkansas, where we're still in the low to mid-50s. Greenville's at 53. So, again, there's going to be a good chunk of western Mississippi that stays in the 50s through the rest of the afternoon. 60s along the I-20 corridor and still 70s farther southward as the boundary continues to make its way through the region. Dew points, obviously more humid to the south, drier to the north as that cold front continues to make its progress through the region as well. And the wind speeds, again, all directly related to this frontal passage, and they are a bit breezy at times and will likely stay to a certain degree somewhat breezy through the early part of the evening. Futurecast shows as the boundary continues to just kind of hang out to our south, it'll wash out over the next couple of days, and it sets the stage for the storm system that we look to move through the area on Saturday. Now, the one thing that the computer models have been trending toward is a slightly slower storm system, not dramatically slower, still looks like it's going to be Saturday. It's just going to be the latter half, maybe even the latter quarter of the day on Saturday. And we could see the showers start as early as the afternoon. But most of the heavier rain potential will be with the front as it advances through, developing a larger line of thunderstorms as it surges eastward. I still think there's at least a window of opportunity for some isolated severe weather potential, although I think the heavy rain and the winds associated with the storm system as a whole are probably going to be more disruptive. Expect rain and thunderstorms to continue through the late Saturday night, early Sunday morning time frame, moving out through the Mississippi Valley by pre-dawn hours on Sunday. So it will be a nighttime or an evening, nighttime and early morning storm system for the vast majority of the region. But I wouldn't be surprised to see rain start as early as afternoon. But it'll be lighter to start until the thunderstorms kind of join the party later in the day. In terms of rainfall, this is that exact same computer model's output in terms of rain totals. And again, storm-driven rains will still lead to some 1, 2, 2.5, maybe even 3-inch rain totals, while other spots see the storms accelerate a little bit faster, and that leads to some more limited totals. On that note, this is just raw model output. It's just model data, computer data. That's it. Here's a look at kind of a blended product that I think better encompasses some of the rain potential, inch and a half. Again, some storm-driven totals of 2.5 inches of rain are not out of the question. The official rainfall forecast from the Weather Prediction Center has really kind of come back on the higher totals. Still seeing some inch and a half totals widespread across the region, but you're not seeing those instances of 2.5 inches of rain forecasted by the Weather Prediction Center. And again, those forecasts are to paint with a broad brush across a large region, and they don't account for storm-driven rains, which will vary wildly depending on location. The other thing that we've been talking about, and we will continue to kind of harp on, is the wind gusts. This is going to be just a dynamic storm system, meaning there's going to be strong winds aloft, there's going to be strong winds at the surface, pressure gradient winds, not necessarily thunderstorm winds, if you will. So it'll start being breezy starting Friday night, through the day Saturday, and Sunday will be quite windy as well. Those gusts generally in the 20 to 25 mile an hour range through much of the day Saturday. Obviously, storm-driven wind gusts could be a little bit more of an issue late Saturday evening as the actual storms and the frontal boundary moves its way through the area. And then the pressure gradient winds behind that system will also still be quite breezy, probably in the 30 to 35 mile an hour range through much of the day on Sunday. Still a lot of tree debris across the region from the ice storm last month. So I wouldn't be surprised to run into some sporadic power outage issues, especially because we'll have some strong gusty winds out of the south to start, and then they'll be out of the north and northwest. So we're going to get kind of a little bit of a swirl of winds, if you will, over the next several days, and that's going to kind of push limbs in one direction, then another direction. So if they don't fall when the winds are blowing one direction, they may be more inclined to fall when the winds shift as we go through the day on Sunday. If you look at this and you're going, wow, those are some strong winds. Big, strong, dynamic storm systems like this do this all the time. Springtime is the worst. Folks, we get a big cold front that moves through, and then the next day it's extremely breezy, and folks just kind of go, where are all these winds coming from? Well, it's from the storm system yesterday. It's not that far off, and again, pressure gradient in the atmosphere, as the air moves from high pressure to low pressure, the stronger that storm system is, the faster the air moves to try to balance the environment. I could talk about pressure gradient winds all day long. It is one of the coolest things and one of the very most basic features in our atmosphere and how air works, how air moves, how wind forms. It's really cool stuff. All right, on that note, look at the day planner for the rest of the day and going into the evening. Made possible by the Monroe Chamber of Commerce and Leaders of Change. Learn more at monroe.org. We will continue to trend cooler tonight. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised to see some areas tonight fall into the upper 30s. In fact, I'm forecasting upper 30s across portions of southern Arkansas, mid-40s for a good chunk of the region, and then hovering near 50 in the southern parishes. The latest forecast is now available at digitalweatherdesk.com and on the Digital Weather Desk app. Just uploaded those numbers, but I will also fully acknowledge that those numbers didn't change that much. I brought the rain chances down a skosh, from 90% down to 80%. Do I still expect the entire area to see rain on Saturday? Yes. But with the timing a little bit more, I think that there's a better chance that our rain chances are more focused Saturday night into early Sunday morning and less during the day on Saturday. So I brought those down just a skosh. But again, aside from that, the messaging of the forecast remains the same. Showers, storms, windy conditions, periods of heavy rainfall, and we keep an eye on the isolated severe weather threat. If anything changes in terms of the severe weather possibilities, we'll keep you updated. In terms of a full-blown written article regarding the Saturday storm system, I posted one yesterday, and I posted one the day before. I'm going to be honest with you. Not a lot's changed in the general thinking, so I will probably post something later this afternoon, but it will again be focused on rain and the winds, just gusty winds, not necessarily severe winds or severe thunderstorm-related winds. Lingering showers for Sunday, and then the early parts of next week we start to warm up a little bit as well. Peavy, good afternoon. Jenkins, thank you so much for your kind words. I'm glad I'm your favorite weather person. And as you take a look at Valentine's Day, obviously it's going to be soggy, so if you have outdoor plans, you want to probably try to move those inside. I lost a follower today. We lost a Facebook follower. Sent me a message saying, I followed you until you acknowledged Valentine's Day as a holiday. Stick to the weather. This is a real thing. I got a message saying, stick to the weather. Don't mention Valentine's Day. And so they said they were going to follow me and that I needed to stick to weather. I responded back that I was going to pass along their comments and their concerns to my supervisor. I'm my supervisor. Forecast is always available at digitalweatherdesk.com and on the Digital Weather Desk app, available for Apple and Android users. I'll join you a little bit later this afternoon. Again, wife and kid are out of town. RML's watching. Right on. Thank you so much for joining in. Wife and kid are out of town till tomorrow. They come back early tomorrow. So I don't really have anything to do this evening, so I'm just going to push the live stream back to about 6-ish, like we did last night, simply because this one's a little bit later, so there's no sense in turning around at 4 or 5 o'clock and doing another live stream. So we'll just wait until about 6-ish, and we'll look at the forecast then and make sure that we address that Saturday, Valentine's Day storm system across the region, because Saturday is Valentine's Day. Thanks so much for stopping by the Digital Weather Desk, powered by Century Next Bank. We're so glad you're here. Thanks for being part of our community, and I'll check in with you in a couple hours.
My name's Chris O'Byrne. I'm with Brown's Roofing. There's a common misnomer in the insurance restoration industry that taking an insurance claim start to finish is similar to remodeling a bathroom. Well, in fact, there's a lot of red tape on the process. Sometimes major adjustments are needed to be able to get the work done and get the work done right. It is very important for an educated representative to get with you today and walk you through this process start to finish. Your peace of mind is our top priority.